Paul Heyman, thanks
Yes.
for joining me on this week's show.
That is I.
Now, I love spending time with you,
You do?
to an extent.
So you're a man of very little taste.
Yes. Are you going to be nice to me today?
No?
No. That's what I feared. Go on, be nice, please.
Okay. It's a real pleasure to be here with you today.
Thank you very
I'm
much.
so very, very excited to be here.
Good. Well,
I'm exhilarated. I'm ecstatic.
and are you ecstatic about being in the UK?
Yeah.
Do you
it's,
like-
it's
you're
my
not-
favorite place in the world.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm moving here.
Really?
Yeah.
Where would you live in the UK if you moved here?
In the extension of the United Kingdom known as New York.
Nice. Okay. That's the best part. That's the best part.
I
now-
concur with your assessment, sir.
Yeah.
Am I being nice enough to you?
I think you could tone up the niceness a little bit.
Even nicer than that.
I would really appreciate it. Because I've got video evidence of you shouting at me before.
You
many
deserved
times. Did I?
it. I'm sure it's not the first time someone has shouted at you.
No, it's not.
And I guarantee it won't be the last.
If you have anything to do with it. How was UFC 200? Saturday night in Vegas. Incredible return for the Beast, Brock Lesnar against Mark Hunt. What was the atmosphere like in Sin City for you?
Celebratory for me. I am the advocate for the Beast, Brock Lesnar, who once again asserted himself as a once-ever athlete in not only sports entertainment, but in sports as well.
And does somebody like Brock get nervous?
See, right there, I need to correct you.
Okay.
There is nobody like Brock. So when
Okay.
when the premise of your question is somebody like Brock, just say, does Brock?
Okay, no, that's fair. That's fair.
So here we go. Take two in 3, 2, 1.
Does Brock ever get nervous? Have you ever seen Brock nervous?
You know, that's an excellent question.
Thanks very much.
And
I
just
thought
the
it was.
phraseology of it was perfect. It was on point. Does Brock ever get nervous? No. Next question.
Is he at the high point of his career? He's now a huge deal with UFC, huge deal with WWE. It seems like he's on top of the world.
Well, as far as we are at this state in time, yes, he is at the high point of his career. Is he at the highest point of his career? No, I don't think Brock Lesnar has achieved all that he can and will achieve quite just yet.
Lots of rumors going around about him returning to UFC for another fight. Do you know any information that you're willing to share with me on the show?
Do I know any information? Yes, that I'm willing to share. No. Plus, you're asking on the premise of an if. Rumors. I don't deal in rumors. I deal in facts. I don't deal in ifs. I deal in absolutes. If your aunt had balls, she would be your uncle. She doesn't, so she's your aunt. I don't.
One of them does, unfortunately. But.
Well, tell Caitlin I said hello. But in the meantime, the questions that you ask me should be based on absolutes, on factual information for which I can then add substantive response. Otherwise, we're just speculating here, and that's not what I do.
Okay, so here's a question for you personally. What was the biggest surprise for you watching Brock going through that journey to return to UFC? What took you back the most?
What took me back the most was actually how tough Mark Hunt actually is.
Okay.
Because that man took a beating. There was several points inside that fight where Brock Lesnar took Mark Hunt down and was just smashing the man's face in. And Mark Hunt kept fighting back and surviving a beating that I don't know how many men on the face of this planet could have truly survived. I mean, there was one point I was just waiting for the referee to step in and stop the fight. But Mark Hunt still had a fighter's chance. He wasn't unconscious. He remained in enough of a position to where he could properly defend himself, though he was absorbing some heavy blows. So I think the biggest surprise to me is just how ferocious of a human being Mark Hunt is, which means how proud I am of Brock Lesnar to beat such a ferocious human being, such a top 8 heavyweight athlete in the UFC.
Now, you have a huge involvement with Brock in many different ways, particularly when he's part of WWE. Building up to a UFC fight, what sort of involvement do you have with Brock in the build-up to that and the night
Very,
itself?
very little. There is nothing that I can add to or for Brock Lesnar in UFC. it is a completely different environment than WWE, and they obviously prefer to have their athletes speak for themselves, and well, they should. And what really am I going to tell Brock Lesnar? Oh, switch stance. Go for the left jab and not the right cross. Oh, now implement the jujitsu. Come on.
Good advice.
I mean, what? No matter how good it may be, it's not my field of expertise. So, what could I add on a credible basis to Brock Lesnar in UFC, except for the fact that I give him my friendship and my true support in any endeavor that he wishes to pursue?
What product do you prefer watching? I know there are huge differences, obviously, but there are also a lot of similarities. If it comes to WWE and UFC, what do you prefer, sitting back in your armchair and enjoying on?
It depends on who's involved.
Okay.
If Brock Lesnar is involved, I prefer to watch whatever Brock Lesnar is doing at that moment. If I'm involved, obviously it's WWE because I'm not involved in UFC. I'm a huge Ronda Rousey fan. I love to watch Ronda Rousey fights. I'm now a huge Nunes fan. I am a huge Conor McGregor fan. Love Nick and Nate Diaz fights. Just love the atmosphere of them. But I can also tell you that I don't ever want to miss a John Cena main event, or a Seth Rollins main event, or a Roman Reigns main event, or a Dean Ambrose main event. I don't want to miss a Randy Orton match. So, it all depends on who's being featured and in what position. UFC and WWE is the same, as far as I'm concerned, as boxing, as a major football event. Barcelona versus Manchester United, for an example. Argentina versus Portugal. It's it all comes down to three questions. Who are these two that are being featured? Why are they fighting or competing against each other? And why should I care enough to watch or pay to see it? If you answer those three questions, you have a ticket sale, a subscription sale, a pay-per-view sale. And if you don't, you won't. So in terms of WWE or UFC, who are these two people? Why are they fighting? And why should I care enough to watch it or pay to see it?
Yeah, that's a great point.
Did you expect a stupid point from me?
No, never.
I mean, otherwise, why would you have me on your show? I mean, are your standards so low that you would ask me to come on here just so I give you schmuck answers?
Our standards have been pretty low at points, but this is a high point in the show.
One can only hope.
Yeah. Very exciting news. The reason we're all here is to talk about 2K17. Brock Lesnar, the Beast Incarnate, the cover star. The only cover star that there could possibly be this year, I think.
May I correct you on something?
You can.
No, I asked you, may I? I know I can, but I was asking you permission.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much, sir. I don't like the way you say my client's name.
Okay.
You say it as
too flippantly.
Brock Lesnar. On the cover of WWE 2K17, available, by the way, on Tuesday.
I knew this would
you don't deserve it.
Okay.
On Tuesday, October 11th, WWE 2K17 features on the cover, and then you just go, Brock Lesnar. You're just throwing his name away. Like it's commonplace.
Teach me.
Oh, it's very simple. First of all, listen to the dynamic of his name. It's Brock. What kind of a name is that? What kind of person names their son Brock? I mean, it's not like, here's my son Timmy. Oh, here's my son George. It's Brock.
Yeah.
I mean, it's guttural, it's violent, it's aggressive, it's competitive. It's meant to be said with masculinity involved. Brock Lesnar. Not Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar's on the cover of WWE 2K17, available Tuesday, October 11th.
Not enjoying
on Tuesday,
your impressions of
October 11th, WWE 2K17 will be available worldwide, featured on the cover of WWE 2K17. On October 11th, on a worldwide basis, is the Beast, the conqueror of the Undertaker's undefeated streak at WrestleMania, the Nightmare of Suplex City, Brock Lesnar. That's how you say the man's name.
Can I give it a go?
You can, but you may not.
Okay. So, Brock Lesnar is the...
You did it again.
Sorry. Brock Lesnar.
Yes.
Is that better?
Yeah, much.
Not quite on your
It's
standards,
proper.
but
It's not even better. It's just proper.
the proper usage of the name. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Brock.
How's Liz? Liz, the queen, Liz.
Yeah,
see?
No, I get
what
your
would
point.
I call her?
I get
Liz?
your point.
Lizbeth? Lizzie, babe? Toots? Honey? No. She's the queen. You say that with admiration and respect and reverence. Oh, Queen Elizabeth, right?
Well, I call her
Brock Lesnar.
It's the cover star of 2K17.
Available
October 11th, Tuesday. Brock Lesnar is Brock Lesnar is the cover star this year. Last year, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Year before that, John Cena. Year before that, The Rock. Makes perfect sense. Get your biggest stars ever on the cover of it.
And you build up to the biggest one of all.
Yeah, exactly.
Brock Lesnar.
Makes perfect sense. In your opinion, does it say anything about WWE's recent track record of creating new stars?
Absolutely it does.
In a negative way?
No, in a completely positive way. Look at all the stars they use to build up to the fact that the single biggest star in sports entertainment, or UFC, or WWE, or mixed martial arts is now on the cover of WWE 2K17. Where was Brock Lesnar first noted on a national basis, on a global basis, after becoming the NCAA Division I heavyweight champion? Where? In WWE. And this homegrown WWE superstar, beast, conqueror, nightmare of Suplex City is now on the cover of WWE 2K17. So what criticism are you trying to throw out there for me to answer?
No, okay. So
you're not satisfied with Brock Lesnar on the cover.
Brock Lesnar. I'm very satisfied. I'm very.
Why are you
pleased
criticizing
he's on the
it?
cover. No, I'm not criticizing it.
No, but
at
you
all.
are criticizing.
No, I'm asking your opinion.
Yeah.
Do you think WWE is great at creating superstars like perhaps they did so well 15?
Who's the
10
number
years
one
ago?
movie attraction on the face of the planet today? By
The
far,
Rock.
The Rock,
And he was the
Dwayne
cover star.
Johnson.
Would this game?
But where was Dwayne Johnson first noticed on a global basis?
At WWE.
Okay. Who was the number one box office attraction on pay-per-view in 1996, 1997, 1997, 1998, 1999, 2000, and 2001? Wasn't Floyd Mayweather. Wasn't Manny Pacquiao. Who was it? It was Stone Cold Steve Austin. And where was he?
WWE.
Right. And who is the number one box office attraction on pay-per-view today on a worldwide basis? Brock Lesnar. And where can you see him ply his trade? WWE. Seems to me like their track record's pretty good.
Yeah, of course. But what I said is their recent track record over the last 10 years. You know, this game
So you're being
will,
critical.
will sell more.
You're being critical.
I'm
You're
not.
dancing around
I'm
the issue.
just asking
What's your
opinion.
criticism?
It's not a criticism. I want to know, would this game sell as well if Seth Rollins was on the
The
front?
game wouldn't sell as well with anybody on the cover besides Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is the number one attraction on the face of the planet today in either mixed martial arts or sports entertainment. Who would you put on the cover right now? Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, John Cena, Vince McMahon, Shane McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, Triple H. Put them all on there together. They don't have the Q rating. They don't have the recognizability factor. They don't have the star power of Brock Lesnar. And it didn't just happen overnight. Will Balor be on the cover? Will Seth Rollins be on the cover? Will Dolph Ziggler be on the cover? Will Charlotte be on the cover? I'm sure they will be one day. But it takes years and years and years of global recognition in order to have the Q rating, in order to have the recognizability factor to be on the cover of a video game that's distributed not just in the UK, not just in the United States, not just in Canada or Mexico or Brazil or Portugal, but on a worldwide basis. This is how many different countries this game is going to be distributed in. All these people need to know who Brock Lesnar is in order to buy that video game. It doesn't happen overnight. Can't put a newbie on the cover. Can't put a rookie on the cover. You put someone that has a track record of over a decade or 2 decades of experience, of success on a global basis. And that's how you get to the point of being able to be on the cover of WWE 2K17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, or 30.
That is a great answer. And
What did you expect? Stupidity?
Very quickly, because I've been asked to wrap this up, 2 things. One,
And I don't know by whom, but thank you to that person.
Thanks, Paul.
You're welcome.
SummerSlam.
What about it?
Big attraction match has just been announced in a very UFC-style way, I feel. Brock Lesnar versus Randy Orton. Do you think this is the way WWE are doing things more nowadays, sort of announcing attraction bouts as opposed to, face versus heel? with a personal vendetta.
Do you have a problem with it?
No, not
Then
at
why
all.
are you criticizing
I quite
it?
liked him. Not criticising. I
Well,
said,
why did you praise it?
I can't win with you, can I?
Never.
Are you excited about the match?
Very.
Good. Who's going to win? Brock.
So your question was rhetorical.
Come on.
Come on, what?
Okay, final question.
Well, you didn't even wait for my answer.
Oh, are you going to give me an answer?
Yes. I
Okay,
am.
go on. Go on.
Well, was your question rhetorical, or did you actually want? Do you
No,
actually
I
want me to
do.
answer
I
it?
do. I would
I
love
mean, is this an
answer from you.
interrogatory or was it a rhetorical question?
It was a rhetorical question.
So that you don't want my answer?
No, sorry, it wasn't a rhetorical
Why are
question.
you so
You're
nervous?
throwing me. Why am I so nervous?
The answer to the question is Randy Orton at all times is one RKO away from victory against anybody, including Brock Lesnar. So the key to the match is avoid the RKO. Take Randy Orton to Suplex City, hit an F5, and pin Randy Orton 1, 2, 3, in which case the winner of the fight will be Brock Lesnar, who's on the cover of WWE 2K17, available on a worldwide basis, which is a concept you really need to get into your head, Tuesday, October 11th.
Thank you very much. And just finally, what would you do as a promoting genius? What would you do with Roman Reigns when he returns July 24th at Battleground?
What would I do with him?
Yeah.
Present him to the public and let him do his thing inside the ring.
From a character perspective, lots of talk about, is he going to come back a face, a heel?
He's going to come back as Roman Reigns. The man already took ownership of whatever problem that he had, whatever mistake he made. He made no excuses. Same thing I teach my children. You have children?
I do.
Okay, so when you go into the bathroom and the cap is off the toothpaste, and you have more than one child?
Yep.
Okay, they blame
2
each other
daughters.
for everything, right?
Yeah.
Who left the cap? Oh, he did. Oh, she did. No, he did. No, she did. No, he did. No, she did, right? What if you walked in the bathroom? Who left the cap off the toothpaste? Dad, I did it. It was my mistake. I'm sorry that I did it. I'm going to make a lot of mistakes in my life, but I'll never make that one again. I'm going to put the cap back on the toothpaste. I'm going to offer you my apology. I hope you forgive me, and I hope you'll have the faith in me to understand that's a mistake that won't happen twice. What would you say? You'd be so proud of your child.
I would be.
Because they
Very
took
proud.
accountability.
Yeah.
The man came out and said, I offer no excuses. I own this. What else do you want him to say? From a character perspective, from a persona perspective, from a human perspective, what else is there for him to say? He took ownership of it. I applaud him for that.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Paul, it's been a pleasure of sorts. Thank you very much for your time today.
That's it.
That is it.